Hello and welcome to another episode of the Catalyst series. So today we'll be going to a project where we'll be using Excel and working on Excel data. So the project is called Excel Cleaner. The reason why it's titled Excel Cleaner is we know that most of the time when we work with data in spreadsheet, one of the most common software we use is Excel, Microsoft Excel. So which is where the name is derived, Excel Cleaner, because we'll be working to clean a messy data. So that is why the name Excel Cleaner. So and the tools we'll be using as usual are Google Colab, which is where we run our Python code, and also where we use a little bit of AI, Google Gemini, so to do the cleaning of the data. So we'll be starting by creating a new file, a new notebook. So the notebook is loading there. We'll name it Excel Cleaner. Excel Cleaner. So I'll be using two methods for cleaning the data. One is I'll be writing codes for for cleaning data, while the second one is we'll be using the AI to generate the codes. Reason for the second part is because we can have different type of data where the information or what will be in our data that we need to clean will be different. For some data, it might be too much of white space and small letters, you're not capitalizing maybe the beginning of each names and stuff like that. While for some data, there might be a lot more errors and mistakes that you need to correct. So, which is why we also use the second method, generate with AI. So you'll be able to prompt your AI to describe how your data looks like. You also ask the AI to examine data, and you'll be able to tell the AI to examine how the data look like and point out some errors and mistakes it can find out from the data, then give you the code to clean the data. So right here is the data we'll be cleaning. I named it messy data. It's in CSV format, but I just decided to open it with Excel. So it has a name, column, department, and salary. You have the name, you can see the first name, John Doe, with small letters. Normally for correct way to write your name is the first letter of your name. Each of your names should start with the capital letter. Here you have capital all throughout, Ali Smith. So a lot of errors, some spaces are missing, some columns. Same thing with department, some beginning with small letter. And for salary, some are missing. If you have a case here, we have minus, though maybe it's a mistake. So we will be cleaning the data using our Python code. So I have two of the same data. The other one too is also called messy data one, but I think it contains the same data. But we'll be uploading them and doing the cleaning. So let's proceed to our Colab. So the first thing to do is we need to go to File and upload we need to come here to this folder, Files, and upload the data we want to clean. One of the ways you can upload your data is by uploading it to Google Drive. You can click here and mount your drive. So once you upload it to Google Drive, you mount your drive here, and you select the location of your data in your Google Drive. That is one way. And the other one is you can upload a data to this section storage. This one is very simple and straightforward, but the disadvantage of uploading directly to the section storage, you can see here that this place is already ticked, a section has started. But once this section is disconnected, you might not be able to get your data here again. So anytime you want to run or restart the session, you might need to re-upload sometimes. Why sometimes it will still store the data or save it. So that's why this is just like a temporary folder. It might not be there for the whole time. So that is why sometimes you can mount it. If it's a large data set you are working with, just upload it to drive once and for all, and each and every time you want to work with it, you mount your drive, then you go on. So I'll be uploading the data. So it's on my desktop. Then you can see the data here, messy data. And you see, ensure that your files are saved elsewhere, because these runtime files will be deleted when this runtime is terminated. This is the runtime. You can see what I was saying the other time. So our data is already uploaded. So we'll be starting with the first method, which is to write the Python code. So the code we'll be using, I'll be pasting it here. Though after this video, the link to this notebook will also be shared where you can copy the code. So let me try and close this. So we are importing a library called Pandas. It's a common library where we use it to work with data. So you load the messy file, which is named messy data CSV. You must put the name that is of the file you uploaded exactly the same. Here we don't have any parts like writing it, maybe a part, because this is uploaded directly to our section storage. So that's why we just put the name of the file. It will find it in the section storage. Then the next thing we will do is where we now perform our magic. That is, because I've already examined the data, I know that its issue is with capitalization, missing names, for salary, missing salaries, and for department and not having a proper way, some with small letters, some and like that. So now I have to undo the missing name by filling the missing name with what? Unknown. You can see that fill missing name with what? Unknown. Then the second one is what? Trim white space and fix capitalization in names. That is, trim white space and excess space that you have, it will remove them. If you have two space, unnecessary space in front of the name, after the name, it will remove it. Then convert them to capitalization, like the first letters of each name will be capitalized. Then for the salary, we will fill the missing salary with average. That is, to calculate the total salaries that is there, then find the average, and it will fill it with the average or mean. Then capitalize department name. As we've said, it will capitalize the beginning of the department name, and also remove any duplicate rows. There will be some duplicate rows, some colons coming twice. It will remove it and drop the rows rather. So then we'll save the data to clean data.csv. So let's run this code. You can see your cleanup is complete and your clean file is ready for download. So that's what we asked it to do, that after it has done all this, it should print cleanup complete. Your clean file is ready for download. This will let us know that the cleaning up has been completed. And this is our clean data here already, clean data.csv. So we'll just click on download. It will download the files as already downloaded here. So let me open the file. So you can see that it has capitalized the beginning of each name: John Doe, Alice Smith, Bob Johnson. You can see it here. Globleck, Dave Brown, and like that. This now normally is meant to remove this, but it's recognizing the name as maybe like a compound name since it is hyphen that is here. But if you still want that to be clean, that is why you need to still examine your data. You can still ask it to remove all these signs, hyphen, and this, you can ask it to remove them from the list. That is why you still need to examine your data. Like this that we have minus, we can also ask it to remove all of that. or you can do that yourself. If it's not much, you can just do it manually. But if it's much in the data, that is when you can ask it to do all that. That is the essence of this code. Now you can look at this data, you might say it's not much. Why not just do all this manually and save yourself the stress? Yeah, you can do that. But sometimes when you have data like 1,000, 100, and there are a lot of columns up to this place, let me see, I think I have a data, something like that. Open a data that was opened. Let me see. Let me open this. We use this for one of our training. Then you can see this cheat here. You can see how the data is much, and it still extends to this area. You can imagine this data having errors. It's missing name, missing date, stuff like that, and you need to clean them. Doing this manually, do you know how much time it will take you? That is the essence of trying to learn all this. But we are just trying it with a simple data set, and you can try it with advanced ones. So let's go back to the second method. So this first method has been done. Let's go back to the second method where we will use, let's create another code cell. So here we will generate with AI. We just select this generate with AI. So for this, you click generate with AI, and it will bring an empty cell, which is where you selected. And I'll click on this plus file to select files. Normally I could have selected upload if I just want to upload a new one, but since I have files here, I'll just select this is the data I want to clean. So I'll select the file, add to Gemini. Can you see? I've added it there. Then I will write a prompt. Now this is as if you are chatting with the AI. I'll write a prompt. You can write it anyhow you want. But one thing about prompts is how rich your prompt is will determine the result you get. I can write this and to generate a result for me, but I can still write it for it to generate a better result. There are formats for generating a good prompt. Maybe we'll drop that in one of our series. We'll do that. So now I need it to clean this data, and let's assume I've inspected the data. I saw that some data, the way they're having some inconsistency. So I can even write replace, because now it can decide to remove unknown, all these places with missing data. I can decide to just remove the column. So I can just say replace missing names, because now assuming there is no name. If there is no name, that means all the other data, they are unuseful. So it can decide to just remove that absolutely. But I don't want that. I want it to replace missing names with unknown, because sometimes you might decide that is the salary data we need. So by the time you remove all those unknown ones, you can see that the salary data, it might not correlate with what is being paid. Though the missing name, those with unknown, we can now decide to address that data by going to each department. Who are those that do not have their names registered on that? But when you remove it, you might not know that there are some people without their names being registered. So that's why I had to give it this. So I said I need to clean this data uploaded. Go to the uploaded data and check for the inconsistencies. Errors, and write the Python code to clean the data and save it to a new CSV file. You can tell it the name to save it to a new CSV file named cleaned data 1. The reason I'm giving is because I already have a cleaned data here, so I don't want it to replace this, because if I didn't do that, I can create a new one and name it cleaned data and replace this one here. So that's how to do this. So now let's run this code you send. So you come here, let's say you want action. No, I want to move this to the side. Move to panel. Can you see? You have it here already. So you'll be seeing your code, and you also see what is running. So it's trying to generate the code. Can you see it has generated the code? So then I can do what? You are right. Let's get the data cleaned up, and apply the necessary cleaning step, including replacing missing names with unknown, and save the results. So these ones are specific things I asked you to do as requested. So the rest is done on its own. So you can see that is the AI that generated this one. Is one I wrote myself. But it's the AI that generated all this itself. But one thing you can notice is that what is there is relating to what I already have here. So you might decide to create another notebook and try it if it will still generate the same thing. So you can run this code. You will click on accept and run, or you can accept. When you accept, it won't run, you will reveal it yourself. But here, because I clicked accept and run, then that is why we have this. So while that is still loading, that it is done, I will create a new one so that it won't be as if it just copied the code initially that we have. So you can see it did the same thing. Clean data. You can see this place that does not have anything, as what? Unknown. So now let's try it on another data. I said I have two data here. Messy data 1. I'll try it with this one. Though the data is almost the same. Then let me come here and create a new notebook. Then we'll copy the former prompt and use it on the new data to see that it can also generate a code for you on its own. File, you click on file. Okay, let's rename. Excel Cleaner 2. So then come here, you generate with AI. Then I'll upload a file, because here if you check the file, you can see it will load. I have not added any file yet, so I'll select messy data 1 because you can't see any data in this section. But I've uploaded my data now, messy data 1.csv. So then let's come here and copy that prompt that we have. Copy. Yeah, because now there is something that I noticed in the other one. You paste here. Also remove negative sign, because we can't pay someone negative salary unless the person is owing the company some money. That means the person is not being paid any salary. Or remove, but on the norms it can be, probably might be a mistake. Remove negative sign in front of salary of some salaries, because it's not all of them, of some salaries. And also any special characters found in some names. These are some things we noticed the other time. Though removing this special character, you must be sure, because some people can have compound names. That is why it might not be advisable. Sometimes you need to verify those ones before you remove it. That is why you still need to do some manual verification yourself, because AI has tendency to make mistakes. What we are doing now is called vibe coding, where you just vibe with AI, you just use it, AI will generate the code for you and all that. Though it also has its downside. That's why you need to also understand the programming language you are trying to vibe code, because once AI generates hallucinations or generates wrong codes, or it will be easy for you to resolve those issues. Though AI can also help you fix the errors it generated, but it might, in trying to fix it, it can be taking you to another direction, and if you don't know what you are trying to achieve, it will give you a wrong result. So that's one of the reasons why you need to also be familiar with the code you are working with. But nevertheless, you can still use AI to generate codes. So now let's try and load it. You can see it's loading. So now you can see it has accept and auto run step by step, and cancel. Here now, because it's a new notebook without any code, that's why it's giving us, assuming it's just a one that already has a cell, to try and generate everything within a cell that we selected. But because this is a new code, if I accept and auto run, it's actually good just to save time. But in case there might be error sometimes, or you might not understand what it's trying to do, so I'll just click on. So this is what is to do. It will what? Load the data and inspect it. That's what I asked you to do. Undo missing names and clean salary column. It will ensure it's numeric, remove negative sign, treating them as positive, clean special characters in name, and save the clean data. These are what I asked you to do, but let's run it step by step. So if it's running step by step, these are the steps it is planning to go through. So it's preparing the data. So we'll be seeing it as it's doing it. So this is the second method where you use AI to do that. So you can see the data loading and inspection. It's already even giving the details, information. So the reason why it's doing that also is giving you here. It's loading the messy data into pandas data frame to inspect data, which is what I was even expected to do in my formal code. But because of time, I'm just wanting to make the code easy. There is what we call creating a data frame, DF. We are creating a data frame. Then it's trying to read the file. This is the name of the file. Content, because it's temporary, is the section storage. You can also remove this and it will still load it. But then it will print the first 5 rows of the data frame using what? df.head. That is data frame. The head means the top 5. But now if you want the top 10, you can put inside this head. Head means the top, while tail means the bottom data. So you can put maybe 10 here, 4 here, 3 here to display the top 3. You put 5, top 5, 6, top 6. But if you didn't put anything, automatically it's first 5. If you put df tail, if you didn't put anything, automatically it's the bottom 5. That is it. Then this df info, the information about the data frame, it will print it. So just press accept and run here, or you can run it yourself. You can see it has printed. These are the data. It's trying to inspect it. This one is small letter, this capital, this has no amount. So try and fill it with average. This small letter, that is the top 5. Then the details now. Our data has 81 entries. But now out of the 81 entries, it has 3 columns. 1, 2, 3. Name, department, and salary. For name, 80 is present, 1 is missing. Department, all are present, but there might be some error capitalization. Salary, 75 information is present, while 5 is missing. So undo the missing name. So it will do what? Undo the name. It will check if there is no name there, then it will replace it with NaN or unknown. Accept and run. Missing value in names after colon. For example, okay, it's giving us the step how it will do that. So it has undo that for us and fill it with what? Unknown. So fill that missing name, missing values in name. It will fill it with what? Unknown. This one is first checking. So it will fill it. Let's press accept and run. Then missing value in name after filling. It has filled it. It's not trying to check again. Then we have no missing value. Because after filling it, no missing value again. So for this now, it has moved to cleaning the salary column. It will remove the non-numeric character, though for the data I have everything in numbers. But sometimes the person can even write salary in a month, 70,000, 50,000 like that. So, but there is no case like this. Now it's removing any negative values and putting the absolute positive value, like cases like this, where we have this 45,000 minus 45,000. So let's press accept and run. So this is what we have. Salary column has been cleaned. It will now remove special characters from names using regular expression. So it's trying to clean special characters from name. So we do what? Accept and run. You can see sales. Okay, John Doe, this is our initial data. Accept and run. So one thing about using AI is sometimes at the first try, it might not generate exactly what you are expecting. That is AI for you, which is why you still need to know the code. But if you still now want to, after you've seen it, you can now try and work with this and correct, because me seeing it here, there are some errors I can see here that but it's until I check the clean data or confirm the error. So which I know I could have corrected here, but we just want to run what the AI gives us. So you can correct them manually. If you know about the code, you just correct those errors yourself, or you modify it. Yeah, you tweak it, or you can even write the code that this one is generating, this is what is expected to do, not this. It's not really getting that part very well, but at least it has given you the step to do it. It has given you a draft. You can just work with it. So let's check the data. It did download. And because I already have one with clean data, this is the second one, so that's why I asked to change that name. So we'll now see if it does what we want it to do. You can see that in place of, let's check the data. It didn't correct the capitalization, which is one error, but it replaced the unknown. The capitalization now we can check. Let's check format one, the messy data one. So let me try and put these two together now. So where we have these are normal data, we have Chris Paul 21. You can see it removed the special character. Yeah. Now we would have said this is duplication, but engineering, this is duplication. It didn't drop duplicate column. That is one thing. Error. So it didn't capitalize. It didn't drop duplicate column. So it didn't capitalize. This one is removed some. It's removed some space. Mary Jane. Number 8. Yes, let's come here. Number 8. Because after removing the special character, it's meant to add space and replace special character with space. That is the correction we should have done there. You can see those errors. But all this one, you can also do it with what? With AI, by just telling, take this new clean data. You upload the new clean data, capitalize it, and do all that. That is just to make work easy. But for doing all this, I've done the code which you just copy and paste from the first Excel. From this first Excel cleaner. Yeah, so you can do that. So I'll just try and make some modifications. Maybe another time this notebook, maybe before sharing it, I'll create this Excel cleaner and try and make some modification with it and share it and upload it to Google Drive and share the link for that. So thank you very much for participating in this episode. See you another time.